Hi everyone, welcome to episode 8 of Wordplay Wednesdays by AA. We're coming to you virtually today, but the energy is in the room, I hope. I'm your host, Chai, and joining me across the digital divide are the brilliant founders of AA, Nike and Vivo.
Hello, what's
What's
up?
up?
Tsaka, grabe ka naman sa
What's up,
maka-brilliant.
guys?
Kung may brilliant dito
Ay,
yung instinct namin
Hindi.
umuwi kapag wangi.
Hindi kayo nang bahala magsabi kung saan kayo brilliant. Basta brilliant.
Ayun nga, yung bike nakapatalikod para makauwi.
Brilliant enough na mag-autopilot pa uwi, no?
Today is a bit of a selfishly special episode for me because this is officially dropping on my birthday, May 6th. And honestly, the only gift I wanted was to surround myself with alcohol, no, joke lang, with incredible words and even better company. So, he brought in a guest who's an absolute masterclass in both, and someone I'm proud to say is an old friend from my university days in Ortigas around the early 2010s. I won't reveal my age, but early 2010s, university days. So, if Philippine literature and theater were a treasure map, today's guest is quite literally the X that marks the spot. He's a Palanca Award-winning playwright and poet, and you may know his iconic works, The Revolutionary Sparks of Pinky and Isang Musikal, The Profound Interrogations of Jigs and Yumi in 20 Questions, and The Caffeinated Heartbreak of My Bias, Kapeng Barako Club, Samahan ng Mga Bitter, among others. When he isn't writing scripts that tear our hearts out and stitch them back together, he is preserving our nation's story as the head of Ayala Corporation's Filipinas Heritage Center. Please welcome the man, the myth, the masterpiece, Juan Ekis. Welcome to the virtual stage.
Go!
Maraming salamat sa pagpa-unlock.
Salamat sa invitasyon. Grabe yung myth.
The myth. So, X, it's really wild and it's such an honor having you here. And seeing you now as the head of the Filipinas Heritage Center also makes me so proud. Parang, oh, I know this dude. But I have to ask, you're surrounded by the profound, heavy history of our past. But as a playwright and a poet, you create the future of our literature. So how do you balance being the guardian of the archives with being the guy who actively writes the new narratives? How do you keep the creative spark alive in the corporate world?
Grabe. First
First
ako
question.
sa tanong. To be honest, no, I did not imagine myself working here, working at Ayala. So first, I was head of knowledge management at Ayala Corporation. But next week, I will be head of Filipinas Heritage Center at Ayala Foundation. So mapopromote ako, so to speak, next week on my birthday. This week na pala yun, this week. So sa Friday.
Yes!
So yeah, I did not expect to work there. No, parang when there was an opening, they invited me to apply. Mostly because they were looking for someone who can write and who had a solid background in the humanities and someone who can lead a team, no? And at the time, I was leading Overmind, the company I started. No, well, I stepped down as the CEO, but I was still chairman at the time. Around 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, when I started working for Ayala, and sabi ko parang why not? No, kasi my mentor told me, no, if you want to be a writer, you better have a day job or you have to have something to write about, no. So when they told me that I would be the caretaker of Ayala's history, and not just Ayala Corporation but the business units, no, BPI, Globe, Ayala Foundation, AC Energy, and the entire, no, And I know how Ayala is very much intertwined with the Philippine history, So I thought it might actually be good material for me when I write my plays, Not necessarily writing about Ayala, but the experience there. I've never worked in the corporate world ever. This is my first corporate job, to be honest. So it will just enrich my experience. So ganun ko siya nakikita, And having a stable corporate job pays for my art. Especially poetry at least. Because quite frankly, walang pera sa theater and sa poetry.
Oh, like, paano ba to? Pwede ba mag-react ng konti dyan? Kung yung top tier talent natin, right, cream of the crop, kailangan pa rin ng day job para mag-survive. Paano na yung mga
Exactly.
Yung mga nag-ambition lang, di ba? Ang hirap pala,
Tama.
Naging reality, ganun, no?
Ganun talaga. Kahit si Tony Perez one of my idols, Si Tony Perez, sabi niya, if you wanna keep your art alive, you better have some day job that you enjoy doing. So that you can keep on writing. So I took that advice. So, nung una averse talaga ako to work at corporate. Pero when they told me na flexible yung time, I will have all the time I need to write stuff. And actually supportive yung mga boss ko na nagsusulat ako ng plays. Nanonood sila ng mga play ko actually. So
Nice.
yeah. So kaya I am able to balance, So lang, time management, I guess, na napilitan na ako matutong mag-time management.
It looks like it's a dream setup, no? It's a dream
Sobra,
setup for our
sobra.
current reality. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm enjoying my job there. After work hours, I don't have to bring home work. So I can focus on my art after ng trabaho. Kasi naman kami, output driven. So as long as I deliver the work that is asked of me on time and within budget, then I can do whatever I want to do afterwards. So there,
Pwede mag-apply dyan.
Pwede naman.
Baka mapanood ng boss ko to. Baka mapanood ng boss ko. Joke lang.
I have a question. So since you're working with Ayalas, are there any instances wherein na surprise ka na ganun pala nag-play out yung parang nung time na yon? Was there like any surprising moments from the whole when Ayalas were connected with certain organizations and their movements and things like that?
Well, I'm still learning, I'm learning a lot about their history and Philippine history, and it's very rich, And I'm just hitting the tip of the iceberg, so to speak.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
nalalaman. And now, I'm looking at how Ayala started almost 200 years ago. It was a coincidence. There's not enough material, but by the looks of it, it seems to me that kasi Ayala started right when the monopoly of the Royal Company of the Real Compañía de Filipinas was bankrupt. At yung kaka-shutdown lang din ng galleon trade a few years back, So essentially, business was a monopoly run by Spain. And just at the moment, a couple of months before that bankruptcy was declared, at i-open yung trade sa Pilipinas, tinayo yung Ayala. So parang tumainin ba na, uy, pwede na magtayo ng business, tayo, may opportunity dito, then let's start something, And you'll be, one shocking, siguro, surprising for me, I discovered the first product of Ayala and you won't believe what it is. You wanna take a guess? First product.
BPI?
Hindi sapatos kasi si SM yun eh. Hindi sapatos.
Nasa frame ni Nike. Nasa frame mo.
Alcohol?
Yes.
Oh?
So the first product was actually Ginebra San Miguel.
Oh!
So it was originally called Ginebra Ayala, obviously. At yung 4 cantos was the original design. 4 cantos talaga, malaking 4 cantos. Yun yung bote niya. Kulay pa nun, amber or green. at the time, no, kasi mahal pang mag-produce ng
The
transparent
clear
bottles.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so that Ginebra, the Ginebra that we know now was originally Ayala's. And then during the Prohibition in America, natakot tayo. Well, ito, ano ko na lang to, interpretation ko as a historian, but it was during the Prohibition when we sold it to Carlos Palanca. So, naging La Tondena siya. And then eventually San Miguel, I think, no? Something like that, no? But the San Miguel in Ginebra San Miguel does not refer to San Miguel Corporation. It refers to the street where the distillery was. It was in sa may Malacanang. Yeah. So that's the parang what the fuck? Pwede ba
Pero
ako-
like, exactly.
Yeah.
Hindi ka naiisip
Hindi
mo
na
yun eh.
ako Hindi ako makapag- Fuck, mind blown
Whole
na
life,
dun,
sir. My life is a lie.
Something
So
very
wild,
close to our hearts.
Kaya
Yeah.
nga.
And kidneys and livers. Wow. Okay. Solid yun. Like, I've always looked at it as malaki na akong investor sa San Miguel because I drink a lot. Understatement yun. And now, na pala ako, investor pala talaga ako na Ayala. But good to know. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, actually, ang dami kong gustong tanungin about your job sa Ayala right now. But
Yeah.
first, I wanna pivot to something a little more personal.
Sure.
Kasi we're gonna be taking a long time talking about something corporate if we focus on Ayala, which is
Yeah,
something I'm
of course.
really interested in too.
For sure.
But next episode, Johan. So anyway, so long before I even joined AA, actually, one of my absolute favorite eras of my friendship with X was when I had the privilege of playing Sunshine in Kaping Barako Club or KBC. So it was a very unique setup actually kasi 'di ba usually ang plays nasa stage, na actual stage in an auditorium or whatnot. But for KBC, our stage was an actual cafe in Katipunan. So the setting is
Okay.
Yeah.
'di ba cafe yung setting, tas yung actual stage is a cafe din. So
Yeah.
nasa yung audience are with us. Doon sa while they're watching us, para sila nag-eavesdrop lang sa conversation. So shout out sa Third Cup Cafe kung okay po ba sila. But so ayun, I think that play resonated with its audience the way it did kasi it was so interactive. There was actually one audience member I remember na during intermission, naglabas siya ng Yossi. Kasi yung yung role ko at the time, yung character ko, sinasabihan si Marlo, yung isa pang character na, uy, bawal mag-Yossi dito. So kumuha ng Yossi yung tapos, napansin ko, tumitingin siya. So sabi ko, bawal mag-Yossi dito. Kinuha ko yata yung Yossi or something. So, parang na-enjoy nila yung pagka-interactive nung play na yon. And it also perfectly captured how love, much like a good cup of barako, can be strong, bold, but sometimes torpe, and sometimes leave a deeply bitter aftertaste. Kaya nga samahan ng mga bitter. So, question about that, X. Why do you think Filipinos love our romance served with a side of bitterness?
No, we are such a sucker for rom-coms. I think as a Filipino, number one, I think worldwide rom-coms sell. No, love sells easily.
Yes.
No?
Yeah.
But I think as Filipinos, then kasi we are such a family-oriented culture, and relationships are something that we really value. Like, we don't move out of our parents' houses even
Yeah.
if we're in our third, di ba? Ang hirap kumawala sa bonds, no? I think enjoying a really nice rom-com is some sort of a nod to the beginnings of that bond, no, the beginnings of a family or the failure to begin a family, something like that, no. Ito ulit ito, no, mga ano lang to, no? Teorya ko lang to. Pero tingin ko ganun eh. Of course, no, the kilig is there. Gusto nating kiligin. Gusto rin natin yung pain of loss, pain ng unrequited love. Nako, yan yung mga mahihilig ng mga Pinoy.
Yes.
Unrequited love. So,
I agree.
yeah, I think ano siya eh. We in theater in general, no, it puts your audience in parang it invites your audience to live vicariously. No, yung mga hindi pa nakaka-experience ng heartbreak, di ma-heartbreak ka dahil natatakot kang mag-explore ng relationship, takot kang ma-reject. So papanoorin mo na lang muna habang hindi ka pa nare-reject, no? Pa-practice ka muna sa pain ng mga characters na pinapanood mo. And then when it's time, no, when it's time for you listen to all of these songs, no? So,
Stage 2.
parang suddenly all songs are messages from God about your heartbreak, no? Parang ganun.
Yun
But
ba
yeah,
yung
Yeah.
yun ba yung tumatakbo sa isip mo nung sinusulat mo yung KBC?
Yeah, well, for sure, no, I medyo may konting ko talaga sa audience eh. May konting love affair ako with the audience. I love making my audiences cry. I love making them laugh. I love making them kilig, no? Pag kinikilig sila after the play, pag lumapit sila sa akin, sabihin nila yung na-feel nila after the play, and I think I've done my job, no? So yun yung ultimate goal ko talaga, is to make my audience feel something and remind them na it's okay to be hurt, no? It's okay to fall in love. It's okay to fail in that, no? Maybe after several times of practicing, you'll succeed.
Yes.
So parang ganun.
May,
Yeah.
may gusto akong itanong, parang di na makapag-antay tong question na to. Kasi you
Sige.
mentioned na na you have a relationship with your audience.
Yeah.
Gusto mo yung napapakilig sila. Ang gusto kong itanong is, nagkaroon ka na ba ng one person na pwede mong i-direct yung energy na yun? Like, in simple terms, have you fallen in love with someone and how did it go?
That's
Gusto ko yung
that's
unang
very that's very dangerous for artists, I think, in general. Yeah, for sure. I've written plays for an individual or a couple of individuals. And not all of them were successful, no. I remember I was so crazy about this girl, and I wrote an entire play for her and about us, no. And then I was so obsessed with the play na I lost track of the play, kung maganda ba siya o pangit ba siya. No? And my crew would usually just trust me na, X knows what is doing.
Yeah.
Maganda yung Hindi na natin ko-question yan, so they would support me, no, until the end, no, until sa dulo the play got canceled. Not because of anything. I decided to pull the plug. Parang a week before the show, my mentor, who was very instrumental in my growth as an artist, he read the play, no? Sabi niya sa akin, it's probably the worst thing you have ever written, no? Parang tumatanda ka pa urong sa, parang ang ganda na ng progress mo sa mga sinusulat mo, and then suddenly this. It's like 3 plays. You're trying to write 3 plays, but they're trying to be 1 play. So parang it's unclear what you're trying to say here. It's parang, pero nag-disclaimer siya, sabi niya, but this is just me. Malay mo, 20 years from now, people will think that this is like best work, or it's a work of genius, a work of a masterpiece. But if you ask me right now, I don't see where you're going, no? And sobrang na-bother ako nung sinabi niya na parang, shit, did I lose sight of the art and I just got obsessed with someone? And so I decided to cancel the play. And everybody hated me for it, no? Everybody hated me for it. Kasi a week before opening, we were ready, no? Parang sabi niya sa akin, warning niya sa akin, parang, X, you push through with this, you'll ruin your reputation. So dahil pangit, no? It will ruin your reputation. So parang, so what? Anong pipiliin ko? Maruruin yung reputation ko o awayin ako ng lahat ng mga nag-ubos ng energy para ma-mount tong production na to. And I ended up canceling and everybody hated me. And I stopped doing theater for maybe 5-7 years, no? Na hindi ako nagta-theater dahil medyo
Oh.
na-depress ako nung time.
Medyo madugo pala yung tanong ko at yung pinuntahan nun, no? Sige, mamaya na yung
Oo,
tanong ko kung ganun.
Oo nga. That
ganun yun.
Pero
Pasiwan
did
na.
you ever
I was shocked.
revisit?
Ano yan? Sorry?
Did you ever revisit the play and try to make it work? Or wala na?
I'm trying to get a hold of kasi there are multiple copies because I wrote multiple endings to it, no? I just haven't had the time to really sit down and put it together. But my closest friends up to now will tell me that it's the best thing I have ever written, no? So I don't know. I don't know. So maybe balang araw babalikan ko yon, and maybe pag national artist na ako, balikan ko na yan, tapos i-re-release ko yan.
Pwede bang humingi ng copy?
Just ko.
Na-curious tuloy ako ng sobra. Gusto ko tuloy basahin. Parang ano.
Kaya ako din eh. With multiple endings pa.
Kaya,
Solid
kaya.
yun.
Okay,
Wild,
so
wild.
baka kung saan naman punta yung conversation kasi si Wiwo, yung tanong mo masyadong intense agad eh.
Hindi ko expect eh.
I won't drag this on any longer kasi if we talk about this even more, I'm sure we'll talk about so many things. Magba-branch out na yan sa kung saan. So, I believe you brought a piece to share with us today. So,
Yeah.
the virtual floor is completely yours. Take it
Okay.
away.
I have this piece of poetry that I always perform whenever I get invited to do some spoken word. Di naman ako nagsa-spoken word, no? Pero pag naimbitahan lang, I read, no? I don't memorize my stuff. And this is sort of my pop poetry, kind of poetry. And actually, meron akong ano nito, parang music video na hindi music video. Ang tawag ko dun sa form na yun ay pelitula. Na parang short film pero tula.
I like that. Pelitula.
But yeah, I'll read it. I'll read it first, then maybe we can jam about it. No?
Okay.
So ang title nitong tulang to ay Sa Isang Parallel Universe. Sa isang parallel universe, tayo siguro ang sithing sumabog na naging simula ng sansinukob. Kapwa tayo hindi na makapagtimpi, kaya natin pinalaya ang mga sarili upang ang tibok ng puso natin ang maging pintig ng mga pulsars at ang lunggati natin maging gravity na hihila sa lahat upang maiayos nila ang mga sarili ayon sa batas na ididikta ng tinig mong sumanib sa aking paghinga. Sa isang parallel universe, tayo siguro ang pagyanig ng daigdig, ang pangangatal ng kalawakang may iba't ibang frequency ng pag-iral, ang paglindol ng kalamnan ng santinakpan, na parang panginginig ng mga labi nating gumuguhit ng konstelasyon sa balat ng isa't isa. Sa isang parallel universe, tayo siguro ang tanging hantungan ng lahat ng ginawa nating tama at ang kapatawaran ng lahat ng ginawa nating mali. Tayo ang nasa pagitan ng lahat ng subatomic at celestial, ang humahawak sa igtingan ng lahat ng nilalang, ang Higgs field na magpapanatiling hanggang bingit lamang ng pagkawasak ang lahat. Hindi tayo naghahanap ng ibang parallel universe. Hindi tayo nangangarap ng ibang particle configuration. Hindi tayo naghahanap ng Higgs boson na nagbibigay ng bigat sa lahat. Sa isang parallel universe, tayo siguro ang kamatayan ng mga tala. Tayo siguro ang black hole na hihigop sa nakaraan upang ito'y maging kasalukuyan. Tayo siguro ang singularity na hihila sa buong universe pabalik sa kanyang pinagmulan. Tayo siguro ang pagtigil ng oras. Tayo siguro ang kaganapan ng sinaunang Big Bang. Tayo siguro katapusan ng lahat ng pag-iisa. Sa isang parallel universe, tayo siguro. Yun, salamat.
Grabe naman yun, sir. Sobra naman yung ginawa mong
Sabi mo,
Naalala
ano,
ko
process
to.
lang saglit, ah.
Sabi mo, ibang gamin eh.
That Higgsfield reference, ah. Oh, solid yan, ah. Solid yan.
Okay, so
Naalala
meron pa
ko
sa simulan,
yan.
ang nangibabaw sa akin yung yung buong tema ng, sige, may mga scientific terms ka na ginamit dyan na kailangan medyo alam mo, pero at the same time, ang nangingibabaw sa akin, nasasapawan yung utak ko ng regret. Yung tema
Yeah.
ng regret dun sa dun sa piece mo.
Yeah.
So, parang ano ba to? Kasi ako as a writer, normal na writer lang naman ako, nagsusulat lang ng damdamin ko. Ano lang siya, based on experiences lang lahat ako. Hindi ko kayang yung mag-infer. Hindi ko kayang kumuha ng experience ng ibang tao. So, ang tumatakbo sa utak ko ngayon ay, yung sinulat mo ba yan, galing sa isang specific experience?
Well, ano siya eh, para siyang compilation ng lahat ng mga experiences ko in the past. Yung mga what if na relationship, no? Yung mga tayo siguro in my head. So, parang na-build up siya through the years. At feeling ko, matagal ko na siyang sinusulat until nakahanap ako ng perfect na metaphor. Nung nagsimula akong magbasa ng mga comics ulit, no? Yung mga multiverse emerald ng DC at saka ng Marvel. And then I started watching a lot of sci-fi. No, Interstellar is one of the biggest influences here. So parang nahanapan ko ng, uy shit, yun yung perfect metaphor for everything that I wanna say about the what ifs, no? Sa na relationships ko, no? Parang mga fling, no? Mga fling na mga what if tayo pero hindi tayo eh. Ganun eh. Parang, so yeah,
Puro
so
ganyan ako dati.
so parang
Hindi,
ganun lang siya. Parang, yeah, compendium ng lahat ng, tama yung sinabi mo eh, ng regrets, I guess. Or ng what ifs, no? Lahat ng yon nagsasama
Ramdam na ramdam ko kasi yung bigat niya, so tumatakbo sa utak ko habang sinasabi mo yun. Ang tindi naman na nangyari sa kanya. Pero now it makes sense to me na ang talino ng pagkakagawa ng pinagsama-sama mo lahat ng mga negative experiences mo about your relationship, tapos parang kinumpress mo into a black hole na siya yung magiging anchor ng emotions nung
Yeah.
nung piece na yun. Gano'n ko siya nakikita.
Tama.
Mhm.
Even if it was parang explained in a certain way na tayo ang space between the void. Ano siya eh, even if you really look into it, a void is dark. Ano yan, hindi yan normally na-enjoy kasi ano yan eh. I read something na ano daw yan, it's complete utter silence. Talagang void, it is empty, di ba? Pero, the way you described it, ang ganda pa rin eh. Parang, fuck, ang bigat ng void na yun. But I felt it na in between two person. Sa dalawang taong to, the void in between, may kilig eh. So,
Yeah.
Meron.
the void na may kilig, damn. Medyo solid yan.
This is why we do what we do, no?
Beautifully put.
Yeah, this is why we do what we do.
Actually.
But we do what we do kasi we don't hear these things on a daily basis. I feel like I feel honored to hear that coming from you, a writer yourself. It's such an experience for me. So thank you for sharing that with us, with gratitude.
Yes.
Mm.
Thank you for letting
sobra.
me read it in your show. Thank you.
Ano yun, sorry?
Actually,
Thank you for letting me read it on your show.
Oh,
you should, Naiko, you should hear din yung X wrote songs then for one of his plays, yung, Sander. May isa siyang,
Right.
naalala ko sa piece na yan, yung, Bulalakaw.
Pag-ibig ko'y bulalakaw.
Pag-ibig ko'y bulalakaw. That
Mhm.
was Beautiful,
Ano yung lyrics
beautiful.
nun? Nasa Spotify ba yun? Baka
Oo.
nasa
Yung,
Spotify. Nasa Spotify ba siya? Hindi ako sure
oo.
eh.
Parang
I
si
wrote
Greg.
si Greg ba
Oo.
nag-post sa Spotify? So I wrote a
Bali,
musical
ano
about
yun?
Ryder, Pulis Pangkalawakan.
Shider?
And I want siya. So I wanted to mount a musical on Shider. And then I wrote Toei. Sabi ko, can I have the permission to write a musical about Shider? Pumayag sila on the condition na dapat ang director ay galing sa Japan, ang costumes ay galing sa Japan, at babantayan nila yung susulatin ko.
Banday.
Di ba? Parang, tangina, student production lang kami, we can't afford your shit. No? So parang, ginawa ko, pinalitan ko lahat ng pangalan. So imbis na Shider, Sander. So Sander,
Okay.
Pulis Pangkalawakan.
Ang galing na.
So I wrote this song kasi yung fascination ko ng bata ko, bakit hindi nagkatuluyan si Shider tsaka si Annie?
Ani.
Di ba parang friends lang sila forever? So ginawa akong love story siya dun sa musical ko. So gumawa ako ng song na si Annie, kumakanta siya na pag-ibig ko'y bulalakaw. Hindi napapansin kasi yung ilaw niya compared sa sun, mas malakas yung ilaw ng sun who is Sander, no? Kasi rockstar superhero siya. Si Annie ganun lang, bulalakaw lang. So hindi siya napapansin. Yung pag-ibig niya hindi napapansin. Eh ang gusto lang daw niya ay to crash into his planet or something, no? Something like that. Pero sa totoo lang, ninakaw ko yung sa kanta ng Erasure ba yun? Or
Dave Matthews.
I just wanna fall from the stars straight into your arms. Ano nga kanta yun?
Okay.
Buhay na tinakaw.
Ano yan, no? Nalabas edad natin dito sa music eh. Stars?
Pero kung narinig niyo yun,
Stars.
sobrang ganda talaga. Ang ganda niya kasi sobrang, alam mo yung comedy yung play. All throughout comedy. Tapos may part doon na kinakanta yun. Tapos feel mo yung unrequited love. Ano siya, parang pag-ibig ko'y bulalakaw mula sa kalawakan. Nais ko lang bumagsak sa
Daigdig na yakap.
bumagsak sa daigdig ng yung yakap.
Translate ko lang yung stars. Na I wanna fall from the stars. And the stars.
Straight into your heart.
Arms.
Straight into your heart.
Basta talaga mga space, ang gaganda kasi talaga din ng ang ganda talaga ng nilalabas ng mga pieces. Oh, personally for me, na sobrang fascinating yung mga pieces na related sa skies. Mga celestial bodies and everything.
Yeah, heavenly bodies eh. Kasi there's something mystical about it na already eh. It's defying gravity, it's defying a lot of our laws eh. Like basic, series ng natin na di-defy niya na agad eh. Speed of light, speed of sound, ando na agad eh. So, for you to encapsulate it pa yun an idea na ma-compare mo siya sa loved one mo, na-compare mo siya sa nawala sa'yo, na-compare mo siya into your everyday thing.
Yeah.
That alone is that alone is beautiful na eh. Yun na nga lang, like with whatever it is that we're doing here, we're trying to articulately explain lang our day, our feelings, our emotions, and through these things. So if you correlate it na nga to heavenly bodies lang, it's beautiful na agad, automatic.
It seems like you have a fascination sa unrequited love. Kailan nag-start yan?
Alam mo, I think early college. Alam mo naman, I think it has a lot to do with my early college experience. Kasi I come from an all-boys school. So elementary, was Makati ako. And then high school, Southridge School for Boys. No?
Galing din
so-
ako sa Southridge. Sige, go.
Talaga po? Southridge way ka rin?
Nagturo lang ako doon for a time. Pero hindi ako doon nag-aral. Okay. Sige, naintindihan ko yung sinasabi mo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Diba? Puro boys. So, pagdating ko sa college, it was an entirely new universe for me. Parang, fuck, I have girl classmates, no? So, and especially my first year was mind-blowing because I had classmates who would pass me notes asking me out to lunch. Parang, parang, I was scared of women, no, in my first year.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is this, no? And syempre, yun din yung time na ano, I mean, nung high school din naman may prom, ganyan. Pero kasi, ang concern mo nung high school tatakas kayo, manonood kayo ng sineng barkada, no, o kung ano mang kalokohan, panglalaking kalokohan, alam mo yun, yun yung concern namin ng high school pag galing ka sa all boys school eh. So, first year college ko was lahat ng mga hindi ko nagawa ang kalokohan with women sa high school, nag-open siya ng gate for me nung first 2 years college, no? And then, bigla pa ako napunta sa teatro. Wala naman ako interest sa teatro, no? Parang it happened by accident. Parang, oh shit, I can write pala. Okay. So, and you know, theater, no, is filled with passionate people. And so,
Yeah.
this is where all of these unrequited loves, hindi lang sa akin, no, pati sa mga friends ko, mga napapanood ko, yung mga dinidirect ko, yung mga naging artista ko, no, yung mga clusterfuck of relationships, no? So to speak, yung mga love triangles, etc. No, parang, wow, we all just want to be loved, and ang daming feelings, ang daming unrequited feelings na nadidiscover dun sa era na yon, no? And that became the meat of most of my works. No, actually, most of my early plays, not so early, siguro kasi matanda na ako kaya iniisip ko early, pero kasi nagsimula ako, di ba? Matanda na ako. Pero yung mga sinimulan ko isulat kasi mga dark, laging may namamatay. And then eventually it evolved into romantic comedies kasi nga naging fascinated ako dyan sa mga relasyon. Up until only recently, no, in fact, nung recently kasi I started writing historical dramas. But if you read my historical plays, at the core is it's still a love story, no? Yung Pinkian, ang ginawa kong anchor is it's a love story between Emilio Jacinto at yung asawa niyang si oh my God, I forget her name, no? Si Catalina de Jesus. So, I always find a way, and gino-joke na nga ito ng iba kong mga friends na writer na parang, ay nako, gagawin na naman next na love story yan, kahit hindi naman love story. So, lagi ko siyang para maging love story. And I think a big influence dyan sa akin, after ko ng college kasi I started working in the film industry under Marilu Diaz-Abaya. I was her assistant director for a good decade, no? And sabi niya sa akin, at sabi niya sa mga estudyante niya, ang turo niya, all stories are love stories. Yun ang sabi, all story are love stories. Tapos sabi niya, and all endings are happy endings. If it does not end happy, it's not yet the end.
It's not yet the ending. Tama.
Yun yung mga tinuturo niya. So, tumatak sa utak ko yun na parang, shit, all stories are love stories. And if you analyze all stories, novels, poetry, lahat ng
Indeed.
kwento, puro ganun eh. Parang it's all about loving someone, whether ma-requite siya or unrequited, but the person always loves someone and must overcome something to be able to successfully express that love. No? Odyssey, Iliad, Iliad lang eh. Ilang gera na yun nangyari dahil sa babae, di ba? I mean, what the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah.
Iko-connect ko yung ano mo, yung idea mo kanina, yung tinula mo yung parallel universe, and then your idea, kasi yung puro regret yun, and then this one is unrequited love. And I will connect it to your personal life. Feel free not to answer this kung masyado siyang intrusive. Para bang binibigyan mo ko ng hint na na naging challenge ba yung idea mo ng love sa mga relationships mo? Like yung idea mo ng love sa utak mo, naging hadlang ba siya para maging successful yung mga past relationships mo?
You know, that's a very good and insightful question for an artist, especially for me. It makes me think about my work and my relationships, no? I have this, yung habang hindi mo pa tapos yung question mo, may naisip na akong sagot, pero I'm not sure if it answers the question, no? But, parang in my head, meron akong konsepto kasi ng muse. No, may konsepto ako ng muse.
Yeah.
Now, the
Mhm,
muse
mhm.
does not necessarily mean na in love ka dun sa object of desire na yun, sa muse. Hindi siya always necessarily na mahal mo siya bilang tao or whatever, no, na gusto mo siyang
Yeah.
jowain, pakasalan. The muse is a concept for artists, not just playwrights and poets, no, painters, no, but that idea of that ideal, that muse, and I should be writing a play about that, no, soon. Is it's there is something very erotic. By erotic I mean yung eros, no, yung romantic love attached to it. Hindi siya love for humanity. It's related to that carnal nature of love, no. Meron pa ding carnality doon, pero not necessarily gusto mo siyang jowain o maging asawa, pero kamag-anak siya nun and I cannot quite explain it. So meron akong ganung konsepto ng muse na hanggang ngayon, no, tinatry ko pa rin siyang i-develop, i-explain sa sarili by trying to write more plays. Now, to answer your question, did my concept of love emanate, being reflected by these works that I've done, no, forced me or led me to failure in some relationships? Baka, no, baka I've not had enough time to really reflect on past relationships, but I've had, parang technically speaking, I have had very few relationships na legit. The rest are illegit.
Ay, may asawa.
I was waiting paano mo siya i-play out.
No. The rest would be what you would call in some terms flings, maybe, or in modern terms situationships, no, ganyan. Yung mga hindi talaga kayo pero parang kayong hindi kayo, mga ganyan, mga undefined,
Parang kayo pero hindi.
etc. No,
Mm.
and I would, maybe you're right, no, maybe my definition of what love is sort of defined also the way I handle my relationships. I think it can be read there. If somebody wrote my biography based on my poetry and taste, I think they might be able to trace my real
To
relationship.
connect that. Yeah. Tama.
I think
Kasi-
kahit anong sabihin ko ng bata ko na hindi siya related, parang lumalabas siya sa work eh. Parang it can't be helped.
Sometimes the chase, kasama siya
Yeah.
dun sa kasama siya dun sa excitement eh. Like,
The thrill.
kasama siya dun sa thrill eh. Like, hindi naman siya manipulating, but sometimes the chase lang eh. Like, may tinesting ka na isang style and then it worked. Like, for example, with the idea of having a muse or a subject ba, na may tinry ka na ibang strategy and it worked. Tumawa. Kinilig.
Yeah.
That alone is I'm not, this is not
Okay.
coming from this is not coming from experience. Ano na
I
to,
was
mga
about
nabasa
to
ko na
ask
to. Mga nabasa ko na to.
Boss,
So but
kwento mo sa pagong.
but I strongly believe that some people do it for the chase. Like, nasustong sila with the idea na I tried this, it worked, nag-smile yung gusto ko, nag-smile yung subject, nag-smile yung muse. So, yeah, it's not all about the muse itself or the emotion itself. Yung chase minsan. I believe in that. Like, I strongly believe in that.
Sakto yun.
This is very
It's
insightful.
about the chase eh, no? It's that longing eh. And somewhere na the moment you achieve it, the moment you possess it, it ceases to become the muse. Parang wala na.
Mhm.
Wala na inspiration. Hindi mo na masusulat. Wala na eh. Kayo na eh.
Ano ba yun? What do you call that? Fuck. Sorry for my French. Post ejaculation truth.
Truth ba yun? Ano,
Post-nut
ano tawag
clarity?
doon? What?
Post-nut
Post not clarity, yeah. when you finally achieved it, na parang, wala na eh. Ano na, everything went out the window na. Kasi nakuha mo na yung gusto mo eh. Diba? So, I guess siguro, I'm just trying to connect lang Wiwo's question and your answer, one. So, in the mix of it all, I believe then na talagang sometimes it's not just about that emotion itself. Yung talagang binyahe ng emotion mismo din.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I think that has a big factor.
As the only girl in the conversation, this is a very insightful thought. I'm learning. I'm learning from this.
Okay.
Pansin
Mas
niyo, hindi ako
naintindihan ko na yung
nagsasalita,
ano,
lang ako.
yung point of view mo kanina na it's dangerous to be an artist na ma-in love. Diyan dahil dyan sa sinabi mo yung chase na yan. Dahil oras na matapos yung chase na yun, it's done. Yeah.
Alam mo, sabi
Oo,
ng ex ko sa akin, reklamo sa akin ng ex ko yan, parang sabi niya, ang dami mong ginawa ng tula, ang dami mong ginawa ng play, you never once wrote about me, sabi niya sa akin. Sabi ko, but I'm yours already. What is there to write? No, what is there to write? I'm yours already. Parang, and it was hard for her to
Understand.
reconcile. Na I've written things for other women, but I couldn't write for her. No, but she had a point. No, pero I'd like to think I had a point too. No?
I have two things that I'd like to say about that. The first one, naalala niyo, Nike and Wiwo, I remember mentioning this to you too. I'm not sure if it was in an episode or if it was offline. Na it's so hard to write now na hindi gago yung asawa ko. So, ano ko yun? Kasi, parang what do I write about now?
Masyado kang happy.
Diba? Masyadong happy. So, what do I write about? Then the second thing is, I remember that I think this was part of, Kaping Barako, the line na, have you ever written about me? I don't remember who
So,
said that. Was
the
it
line of Steph. Parang, have you ever written about me? And then the guy, Marlo, says, I've always written about you. Parang, what do you mean? So parang, no, I've seen all of your plays. I have not seen my character there. No, but it's always been about you. I've been writing about you even before we met, sabi ni Marlo. No? Yeah. Dun. So you see, even my plays are stolen from my own life, no? And of course, my friends, no? So mga totoong mga linya yon sa totoong buhay. Kaya siya fun.
Yeah.
Kaya siya heartfelt kasi those are real fucking lines. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
Like talagang in exchange siya, di ba?
Yes.
Kaya siya talaga nagre-resonate with people kasi sobrang relatable. Whether you know the writer or not, talaga, makaka-relate ka talaga dun sa you'd feel like that play was written for you.
Yeah.
Medyo naiingit ako kay Boss X. Dahil free siyang i-explore yung pagiging hopeless romantic niya. Free siyang hawakan yung identity na yun. Nakakaingit yun for me. Yun lang.
Just to add on lang with the idea na a girl saying na di mo naman ako sinusulatan eh, or like ang dami mo na sinulat sa ibang babae, ako di mo ako masulatan. Okay. I had a similar case. The point is, I won't elaborate na. But the point is, she never knew na she was always the standard. She never knew this. Na siya yung basihan ng dapat ganito if happy ka, dapat ganito if sad ka. She was always the subject, or like, ano bang tawag doon? Ano yung term natin? Not antithesis eh. Parang siya yung kontra. No, kasi if for example I was writing about a muse or a different subject,
I'd use her as the standard of the alter ego siguro noon, nung subject na yun. Parang, she was always there. She was always in the midst of the everything. So, but for her, she wanted, I don't know, siguro she wanted recognition, she wanted the confirmation of certain things. But for me, she was always there. I was writing about her unconsciously lang siya, or like siguro malalim lang masyado. Or siguro ito lang din yung sinabi nyo nga na delikado magmahal ang isang poet, ang isang taong in this
Artist.
kind of industry. Yeah. Kasi ano kayo lethal kayo with words eh. Like how you can play a certain emotion with a certain certain type of words used, mababago talaga yung context ng usapan eh, di ba? So, but going back, a lot of girls tend to say that you write about them, you don't write about me naman, but they have
Sabi
no
ko yung
fucking idea.
sasawa ko.
Oh, but they have no fucking goddamn, shout out Pao. But I hindi nila alam. They have no fucking idea na ano sila, kasama sila doon. Every notch sa kahoy, every word, every comma. Sila yung boss. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Bakit ganun? Napansin ko sa sa mga sinasabi nyo. Parang when it's someone na hindi kayo, it's so easy to define or express how you feel about them. It's so easy to identify na, it's for this person. Pero pag kayo na, dun yung parang, kasi na-realize ko nga, pag kayo na parang laging sa girl, sa point of view ng girl, ako, sinabi ko yung sa asawa ko na, ba't yung ibang babae, nagda-drawing ka para sa kanila, nagaganin ka para sa kanila, ba't ako wala? Tapos sasabihin niya lang sa akin, greatest artwork niya, yung mga anak namin. Excuse me. Ako
kasi nga
gumawa din ako yan eh.
Kasi nga yung music, kasi aspiration siya eh. Someone na dapat hinahabol mo pero hindi mo dapat nakukuha. So,
hindi mo dapat nakukuha. Keyword, hindi mo dapat nakukuha.
Oo.
Yeah. Tama.
Sawa ka na eh, nakuha ka na.
Ano ba yan? Pero I think yun yung greatest challenge din pagka may imposter syndrome ako when I call myself an artist. Pero mahilig ako sa art in general. So, basta ganun type of person ako. Pero alam mo ayun yung challenge ko na, and I feel like a lot of artists feel the same na ang hirap mag-pour ng creativity into something pag masaya ka, pag content ka na sa lahat ng nangyayari sa'yo. Kasi parang,
Yeah.
how do you draw inspiration from that? Parang, how do you dig deep when there's nothing deep to dig? Okay, so, I don't know. Yun yung, actually, yun yung naging, challenge ko din in the past
Good point.
10 years. It was really hard for me to write. Parang I've only started writing again, trying to make an effort to write again nung nabuhay ulit tong AA a year ago.
Yeah.
So, siya, it's a bit sad, but I don't know. I don't know kung ano yung point ko. It's just an observation.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to ask, no. I guess, no, of course a huge part of my body of works ay tungkol sa pag-ibig, sa unrequited love, etc. No, but habang tumatanda ka, hindi lang as a person but as an artist, habang nagmamature ka as an artist, you discover na hindi laging kailangan pain yung pinaghuhugutan mo ng yung balon mo ng tula or ng art, no? Hindi laging ganun eh. Like now, no, of late, hindi ako ganun karami tumula pero parang mas intense, mas maikse, mas konti, few and far in between, pero mas contemplative yung mga works ko. Like yung huli kong work or last few poems that I've written, it's more philosophical than romantic, no? But because of my writing style, they sound like love poems, but really they are meditations on, actually nag-aano na nga ako, tatawid na ako sa theological at saka religious poetry eh. Yung huli kong collection na nanalo ng Palangka, yung una kong collection na nanalo ng Palangka sa poetry ay religious erotica. So tungkol siya sa seven sacraments. Seven sacraments, pero pag binasa mo puro sex. Pero pag binasa mo siya ng mga 10 beses bawat isang tula, each of the poems is actually a meditation on each of the 7 sacraments in Catholicism, no? So kumbaga maraming pwedeng gawan ng art sa mundo. Hindi lang romantic love, hindi lang pag-ibig, hindi lang pain din, hindi lang sorrow, hindi lang hugot, no? Kasi nagkaroon ng movement niya, hugot poetry, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang movement. Nung nauso yan, lumayo ako parang, sige, humugot kayo dyan, mag-philosophize ako. So I started doing philosophy but using the language of eroticism. So for ordinary audiences, they read like erotic love poems, but really they're meditations on my faith. No? So,
Ang galing. Yeah.
doon, no? Ginawa na yan ni John Donne I don't know kung ano era si John Donne, no? Yung kanyang may erotica siya na religious erotica eh. So hindi ko alam na nauna siya, pero nung nakita ng mentor ko yung mga tula ko nung after winning the Palangka, sabi niya, read this guy. Nung nabasa ko yung dude, parang oh my God, religious lahat ng references niya, pero erotica yung pagkakasulat niya. Parang wow, may nakagawa na. So malalim talaga. Yung poetry, yung art in essence, no, if you are able to widen your horizon, hindi lang sa pag-ibig. Although sabi nga ni Direk Marilu, lahat ay pag-ibig. No?
Tama.
Lahat ay pag-ibig. Love for God, love for nation, love for the poor.
Yeah, tama.
Ang ganda nun kasi siguro it just comes with familiarity na yun na yung nakasanayan. Personally lang, I'm speaking from my own perspective lang, na yun yung nakasanayan kong isulat before. So parang ngayon hindi ko na alam kung paano magsulat kasi hindi na yun yung pinanguhugutan ko. So this is why I like not being the smartest one in the room. I learn a lot from the people from the people I talk to.
I feel so happy tonight. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning
gusto ko
that.
Kasi
It's a bit
sobrang
intimidating
dami
at
ko
first, pero
diba? So, technically, since I'm not the smartest one in the room, I have the most advantage because I get to learn the most.
Sabi ko nga kay Nike kanina, na yung guest natin ngayon parang PBA player, pas tayo ligang barangay lang. So hindi natin pwede.
Okay, can I just say, sorry, I don't want to be technical about this, but Palangka awardee for me growing up, that is wow for me. Like hindi ko siya ma-put into words na talagang it's incredible feat yun for me. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first time na I actually spoke to somebody na talagang Palangka winner. So I don't, ang weird pa nga nung do we talk about it? Kasi syempre magpa-fanboy ako eh. Ayoko naman mag-fanboy, but syempre mayabang pa rin ako. Alam mo yun, but this is me being mayabang na I'm just saying I'm in awe with the whole idea na Palangka nominee. Kahit syempre, sige, sorry babasagin ko lang yung trip konti. For other people, they will say na it's just another award, it's just this, it's just that. But no, bro, if for somebody who grew up with the idea na Palangka winner, yun lang alone, that phrase alone for me, jitters na eh. So talagang I don't know, siguro giving you flowers lang. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but pero wow lang.
Congrats, I guess. That's the last thing I can say about it. Congrats.
Ginawan.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
I guess ang dami nga nating mapapag-usapan today kasi I really wanna dissect din a couple more plays pero hindi natin kayang gawin yun in one night. Pero I do have another question. So X, you wrote 20 questions, but since
Yeah.
I've probably already asked
Yeah, one of my
more than
favorites. Tama.
more than 20 in the many years that we've known each other. I will subject you to a full interrogation today. So, ang question ko is more on, after all these years of writing, when you sit down with a blank page right now, how do you start? Kasi as an actual writer, parang, do you start with a feeling, a character, a word, or just a phrase, a clever pun na you want to build a world around? How do you, what's your process?
Funny thing, most of the things I write now, I start with a deadline because I have clients.
Most unexpected
That's corporate for you.
answer.
That's corporate for you.
So I haven't really written. Well, sa poetry, I have no clients sa poetry. I just write whenever I write. But sa plays, I start with a deadline. So usually, yung Virgin Love Fest, my deadline around November, I think. So, and the funny thing is, I always cram. No, I write a play a couple of days before deadline. Actually, I have a deadline tonight. na isang play na wala pa akong nasusulat kahit isang salita. No, nasa utak ko pa lang siya pero hindi ako masyadong nagpapanik kasi hindi naman yung nangingi sa akin. I doubt na magme-message siya sa akin. Malamang bukas na yan ng umaga. So, cool lang ako dyan. At saka nasa utak ko na eh. Kapag nasa utak ko na everything is just, clerical work. It's just typing.
Yeah.
So,
Tama.
parang I've written it in my head. So yeah, usually nowadays I start with a deadline. I'm writing a play now for a compilation of children's plays. So that's due today. So I'm gonna miss it. I'm writing a children's musical that was due a couple of weeks ago. Na I begged for an extension. So it's due in 2 weeks. I'm writing another full-blown musical that's due, actually, I think due after Holy Week, na hindi ko pa rin nasusulat kahit isang salita, wala pa ako nasusulat, pero I have some of it in my head. So mostly deadlines ang nagdadrive sa akin sa pagsusulat ng mga play. I think it's because of the last 2 plays that I wrote, Pinkian and Nay May Dala Akong Pansit. It became such hits. People just suddenly approached me and asked me to write plays for them, no? And the ironic thing about it is when I joined Ayala, I told myself I'm gonna quit theater for a while because I'm gonna earn some money. But no, nagdoble lahat ng mga writing gigs ko when I started working sa corporate, no? So yeah. But outside of the deadline, I usually start with scenes na napapanood ko sa totoong buhay.
Okay.
May nakita ako sa kabilang table, which was Kapeng Barako Club essentially. May nakita akong couple na nag-aaway sa kabilang table. So mapipick up ko few lines lang, tas di ko pa rin naintindihan ko ano pinag-aawayan nila. So gagawin ko, i-inventuhin ko na yung iba, i-reconstruct ko siya. Parang, okay to na play There's another play that I'm writing now is based on a true story na nangyari sa pamangkin ko. So, hindi ko pa sinasabi sa kanya, magugulat na lang siya pag pinanood niya. Wait a minute. So, ganyan, I'm just really copying what I see in real life. And now that I started working in the corporate world, drama in the corporate world is very different and so fascinating.
Yeah, ibang flavor yun. Oh, sobra.
So definitely, I'll be writing scenes, no, about the people I met at work, no, work problems, family problems, marriage problems na dati sa sine ko lang napapanood. Ito na first-hand accounts ko na encounter, no? So, those are the best sources for anything actually. Real people, real lives, even for poetry, even for poetry. But for me though, poetry is some sort of meditation. So,
Mhm.
plays, ano yan eh, para sa akin, plays is, that's me trying to make sense of what's happening in my life. The scenes that I see in real life. But poetry is me trying to process the universe after a long day. So I need to be quiet, look at the cityscape that outside my balcony. Hindi naman pala cityscape to. Buildings lang nakikita ko dito. Tingnan ko lang yung kawalan, and then I write, I meditate and I write, no? But yeah, it starts anywhere and everywhere all at once, no? Sometimes title lang. Nakapagsulat na ako ng play na gusto ko lang gumawa ng play na ito yung title. So I wrote this one play called 817. So sabi ko, magsusulat ako ng play na ito yung title. Actually, original title nun, 1935. So sabi ko, basta magagawa ako ng play na 1935 yung title. Sabi ng friend ko, bakit? Kasi yun yung address ng crush ko. So, 1935. Pero, naisip ko, shit, kung 1935 yan, di historical play. Parang, shit, wala akong time mag-research. So, isip ako ng ibang number. Birthday na lang niya. So, 817. Okay. So parang shit, anong kwento? Meron akong title, 817, pero wala akong kwento. So, anong gagawin ko? So, kumuha ako ng Bible, tas hinanap ko lahat ng Luke, ng chapter 8, verse 17. Hinanap ko lahat.
17.
8, verse 17. So, and then I ended up with Luke, chapter 8, verse 17, and it said there something like, there's nothing that is hidden that will not be revealed, or something like that. So sabi, oh shit, I found something. So now I'm gonna write a detective story, a secret that is unfolding. So nakagawa ako ng play. Gusto ko lang gumawa ng na ang title ay birthday ng crush ko. Doon lang nag-start.
Oh my God.
So,
Amazing. Kinuha mo siya from the complete from the other side. Parang kinuha mo siya from the front to the back instead of the other way around. Oh, tama.
Exactly.
Galing.
Exactly. Reverse.
So walang walang isang way of writing for you.
Walang isang way.
Parang ano lang
It starts
talaga.
anywhere and everywhere. Yeah.
I
Starts
guess
with
that's
an
the beauty.
inspiration.
Oh, I guess that's the beauty of it. It's just how you see things lang talaga. Some people start with the title, some people start with an emotion, some people start with a fondness of somebody lang, and then how they mix it all up. I guess yun na yun yun yung pinaka-beauty nun
Pero may napansin ako. So parang sa deadlines, yun yung sinabi mo kanina sa deadlines, naalala ko yung pinag-usapan natin kanina about the chase. Parang in a way, parang ganun ko siya nakita kanina na medyo thrilling din na yung procrastinating until the last minute.
Tama.
Alala ko lang.
Something, yeah. It's bad practice. But it's fun.
Like, I wouldn't say it's bad practice if it could get you awards and a job at a comfortable job. It's not bad practice. It's, hindi ba dapat yun ang tinuturo? Yung ganyan? Yung ma-pressure ka at sa maging creative ka? Bad habits.
Bad habits. But yeah, sometimes.
And then siguro you just have to work with what's effective with you with your routine and all that. Kasi I heard a study na some people with ADHD they tend to procrastinate, and then when they procrastinate naman, pucha talagang wizards talaga yung galawan nila, di ba? So I guess that's for them, it works for them, and others naman they have 3-day schedules, they have 3-day plans that from this day forward and this and the second day and the third. So that's for them naman din. So I guess you just have to find yung whatever it is that's effective for you.
Yeah. And to be honest, hindi naman ako nagsusulat talaga a couple of days before deadline. Meaning, I've been writing it in my head
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a long time.
Mhm.
But it's just the clerical aspect of it na medyo close to the deadline. Sometimes I don't make it, sometimes I do. Pero yung writing of it, matagal siya talagang proseso eh. Internal nga lang siya, no? Internal.
Mhm.
Mhm,
Yeah, that's what
mhm.
I like
The
about
things that
writing.
not everybody
Mm.
see.
Yeah, kahit
Go, go,
nakaupo
go,
ka sa kahit nakaupo ka sa kubeta, pwede kang magsulat.
Yes,
Yun ang
yes,
pinakagusto
yes.
ko sa trabaho ng writing. Pati pag ako
Yes.
writer kasi ako sa day job ko. So o kapag na writer's block ako, CR muna, pagbalik ko yan na, meron na. So ang ganda na lang ng pagiging writer sa ganun.
Actually, parang naalala ko din may time na tinatanong ako ni Pao ng husband ko, anong ginagawa ko? Sabi ko, nag-work ako, pero nakikita niya, scroll ako sa Instagram, nagbabasa ako ng mga kung ano-ano sa feed ko. Pero yun na yun eh, doon ka na part
Input
yun ng
yan, input.
process.
Oo,
Yeah,
input yun.
Exactly.
Research.
Part siya ng-
Makalusot eh, no? Input
Pero ayun.
yan.
So ayun, thank you so much X kasi napansin ko lang yung time.
Of
Ang haba
course.
na pala ng discussion natin. Thank you so much for joining
yeah.
us. Alam kong
Thank you for having
Sobrang
me. I
busy
had
mo.
fun.
sorry.
Having a good time eh. Having a good time. That's
Yeah. I actually wanna invite you sometime sa baka mapadpad ka sa BF.
Sure, sure.
Inom tayo. Yan na naman ako, nag-aaya na naman ako na inom. Pero ayun, it's gonna be really fun catching up, and tonight has been really fun too. So thank you not just for the words that you shared with us today, pero also for the years of friendship na binasag ko lang yung yung silence ng ang tagal namin di nakapag-usap, tapos first thing na sasabihin ko, pwede ka ba pwede ka ba magsumama sa episode? Pero thank you so much
course.
for letting us have you here in this episode and having you here in this digital stage when like we
Thank
used
you.
to share a literal one is the best kind of full circle moment that I could ask for. So before I let you go, I wanted to ask, where can our listeners find you, read your works, watch your plays, and see what the Filipinas Heritage Center is brewing up next?
Right. Well, I'm still working on my website, oneegis.com, pero hindi pa siya live, no? But I want it to be like where I can publish my works for free and people can download it, no? Because maraming mga students na nangingi ng permission to stage my plays, and I give it out for free if you're a student. And if you're not a student, parang ano lang, ang condition ko lang is you donate to Southridge Night School. That's my only condition. Pero
galing.
hindi ako
Galing.
sa parang doon dumidiretso. So but soon, very soon, sana lumabas din 1x.com. But in the meantime, I post my works at Facebook, no, at 1x, pati Instagram at 1x. I have a TikTok account that I don't open that only has one video. It has one video, which is the video of the poem that I just read a while ago, no? So same at 1x, no? So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and on YouTube naman, I have some works on YouTube, like some songs from the musical Sander is there, no? So sa YouTube ko ay at X Valles, no? X Valles. Kasi di ko makuha yung 1X, may nauna sa akin, nakakainis lahat ng social media ko, nakuha ko yung hindi. So, yun lang.
Sayang yun.
Yeah. So, at
Pero
sa
thank
Instagram na meron din ako ng videos, may reels ako doon ng tula at iba pa, no? At 1X.
Sige. So for everyone listening, follow X at 1X. That's one as in JUAN.
JUANEKIS. 1X.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pero sa YouTube, X Valles. we will
Yes,
write
X
that down here, kung saan man.
Everywhere.
Kung saan man yan nilagay ni Thanks so. So to everyone out there listening, whether you're currently the sunshine in your own story looking for a little light, or you're in your barako phase, bold, strong, and maybe a little bit bitter, remember remember that every ending is just a draft for a better beginning. History isn't just kept in archives or center basements. It's kept in the conversations that we have, such as this, and the poems that we dare speak out loud. So to my dear friends on this call today, Nike, Wo, X, thank you so much for being part of one of my favorite chapters today. So as the ink dries on episode 8 of Wordplay Wednesdays, remember to keep your metaphors sharp and your hearts open. Until the next episode, stay articulate, stay anonymous, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.